Hi guys, my name is Lauren, if you guys can't tell from my YouTube channel name, whatever. And this is gonna be my first video, and I couldn't be more excited to finally start this because I've been always wanting to start a YouTube channel because I've been watching numerous girls whatever videos channels since 5th grade, and I've been envious of them, and I've always wanted to start my own because I love anything beauty fashion related. So I can't wait to kind of share my life with you guys. I know no one's watching right now, but I hope to gain subscribers in the future. But honestly, if I don't have any subscribers, that's fine too, because I'm just making these videos for fun and in order for me to look back on all of these new memories that I'm about to make. So yeah, I live, I'm gonna give a little background of who I am because this is my first video. So my name is Lauren Westerheide. I grew up in Central Ohio, and I graduated in May of this year. And I'm moving to New York City tomorrow. So today is my last day in Ohio. I just had to say goodbye to my best friends, whatever. So I had to put makeup on to cover my puffy eyes, but it's okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I'm moving to New York City to go to attend the Fashion Institute of Technology. And I'm going to be majoring in advertising, marketing, and communications for my associate's degree. And then I'm hoping for my bachelor's to kind of switch over my major to fragrance and cosmetics marketing. So I'm really excited about my whole plan, whatever, and I'm excited to have this as well. So this channel is basically going to be, I'm going to do weekly vlogs because I love vlogging. I have a vlogging camera. And I've always been interested in videography and photography and things like that, but I'm just excited to kind of share that now because I've always kind of kept it to myself as a little hobby, and now I'm just excited that I can finally show it, and I don't care what people think, whatever. I'm excited to start this for myself and just have these memories because my next 4 years or however many years are gonna be crazy, and they're gonna be new and different, and I can't wait. So yeah, this video, I'm just gonna kind of go into detail of how I got into FIT and all of the processes that or the steps that I took that kind of helped me succeed. So I'm gonna give you tips and tricks, whatever, but I can't guarantee if you watch this video, I can't guarantee that you're gonna get in by any means. This is just I am surprised that I got in because I'm not gonna lie to you, FIT is a difficult school to get into, but I think the biggest tip is to just make yourself stand out. So yeah, I'm gonna be making this video and giving you kind of my background, my ACT and SAT and GPA and stuff like that, to kind of, because when I was applying to FIT, I watched tons of these videos to kind of give me peace of mind and say, okay, so I don't know if I'm going to get in, whatever, kind of just gave me kind of a background of what you need to do in order to get in. So I am making this video because this was very helpful for me when I was applying. So yeah, so as you guys know, I am out of state, so I don't know if your in-state is different or stuff like that. So I applied to FIT out of state, and so I'm from the Midwest, and so I kind of took that as an advantage because I kind of said that that would set me apart and bring a new perspective to the city. So first off, I'm just going to talk about why I was even interested in FIT because a lot of the girls that apply to FIT and eventually go there have been dreaming of going to this school ever since a long time, and I didn't even know about FIT until my next door neighbor went there, and she's going to be a junior this year, this incoming school year. So my next door neighbor went to FIT, and this was revolutionary in our town because I grew up in a very, very, very small town in Central Ohio, and going to New York City for school, especially a fashion school, is unprecedented. So she kind of was a trailblazer in that respect. And I was always envious of her. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, I would love to do that. But I never thought about applying there. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. I was just applauding her on going there and being brave, whatever, and she loves it. She is having a great time. I follow her on social medias, having a great time. So yeah, I kind of knew of FIT like 3 years or so ago, 2 years. So I just knew of it. I didn't know if I knew I wasn't gonna apply probably because it was like hard to get into, whatever. But when it came time for me this senior year, when it came time for me to seriously buckle down and apply to all of my colleges, my mom had recently talked to my next door neighbor, and it was her dad that goes, and her dad was seriously like, hey, she should really apply if she's interested in advertising, marketing, communications, fragrance, cosmetics, then she should really consider FIT because it's a great school. And so I was like, and so my mom was like, you should just apply, why not? So as I started looking into it more and watching tons of videos like I'm making now, I got seriously interested in this school because of their like amazing opportunities. So that's how I got interested in it. I just researched and I looked at videos and stuff like that. So that's why I ended up applying. So the first step in applying to the school is SUNY, is the SUNY application, the State University of New York. And so it's not a common application, and I applied to 6 schools, and FIT was one of those 6, and FIT was the only school that wasn't on the common app. So I had to fill out like a completely different like application, and it was a whole different process than what I was used to. So the SUNY application like opens in August, and so they open in August and you can like apply. It's not anything like a normal application. It's like you fill out your name, your birth date, your sex, and like random like personal information. It's nothing like a normal like college application, like essay questions or anything like that. It's just simple questions to like, I don't know. It's basically just reserving your spot and saying that you're interested in applying to FIT. So yeah, I applied to the SUNY application in November and it opened in August. So that tells you anything. At this point, I thought that I was already, for the longest time, I thought I was going to the University of Cincinnati. So I thought that I was just applying to FIT just to see. I didn't think I was going to get in and whatever. But then I knew I was going to go to University of Cincinnati because of their great program. But I just applied anyways. So I applied on November 13th. You have to pay $50 for an application. And I don't know if that's different for in-state or out-of-state students, but I had to pay $50, which is normal for an application fee. So yeah, no college questions, whatever. It was very easy. So then 3 days later on November 16th, I got an email from FIT giving me like confirmation that I was applying and all the steps that I needed to take in order to complete my application and send that in before February 1st is when our deadline was. So they gave me, basically in this email, they gave me access to MyFit, which is just like their form of like college student like website. And so everything you need is there. So yeah, I logged on to my MyFit, and then once you're there, it steps out everything that you need to complete. So you need to send in your school transcripts, which is easy. You just go to your school counselor and you ask them to send in your school transcripts to FIT. And then you're going to need to write. And as for this video, I'm going into AMC, so that the business school of FIT, so I'm not going to touch on anything that's the fashion school, design school at all, because I have no idea how that application process is different, because I don't want to say anything that's wrong. So I'm just talking about business school in this video, just a little touch on that. So yeah, so then you need to just do your essay. And so the essay is the biggest part of your application and is what makes you stand out, and it's what makes or breaks your application and whether or not you're going to get into this school or not. So the essay itself is 700 words, and the prompt I think is like the same every year, and it's just like, why do you want to go to FIT, and like why are you the right candidate for FIT, and why is FIT the right school for you? So it's such a broad like topic. I think that's why it's so difficult for a lot of people, and that's why it's difficult for me, because when I'm writing essays in school, I usually have a very like strict prompt and I can just easily write it with that. And I also hate writing about myself, because technically you're trying to brag about yourself and your accomplishments while you've been in high school, and what you've done, and what you've done throughout high school, and how that will set you apart from people at FIT. And so really you're just bragging about yourself, talking about yourself, but you need to do that subtly. And honestly, the essay is so crucial to your application. And yeah, so I watched tons of videos on the essay, so I highly recommend like researching majorly and taking your time. So as I said, I got the FIT email on November 16th and the application was due on February 1st. So I buckled down and I wrote a rough draft of my essay, and I wrote down everything that I feel that was important to say, and everything that I've been involved in, like my background, and saying that I was from the Midwest, bringing in a new perspective, all of that stuff that I wrote down. And by that point I was at like 1,000 and some words, so I was obviously way over. So then every day I'd kind of like, not every day, but quite often I would go back to it and I would edit it and then make it sound better, make it flow, make my paragraphs flow right into each other, into a new topic. I highly recommend writing about things, activities or clubs that you are seriously like wanting to get involved in at FIT. So like if you get in, like what are you gonna do? Like why is FIT a different school, in the respect that there's a lot of things that you're interested in doing. So I talked about how I wanted to get involved in this many clubs and then their study abroad programs. I had a whole paragraph on like, if I got into FIT, I would be wanting to do all of this stuff, and it sets me apart from other colleges because they give me so-and-so opportunities and stuff like that. So I think that's very helpful as well. And then just saying that FIT, you're surrounded by so many people that have the same drive and determination as you to be successful. And FIT will give you the tools that you need to be successful in the business world. And because it's so reputable, and you'll have a great shot at getting a job in the future. So just really praise FIT and give them compliments on their recognition throughout the world, and just be honest and with yourself, and just don't be cliche. Like don't say like it's been my dream for however long. Like just be real, be yourself, be unique, and make yourself stand out, but don't be cliche. That's like the biggest thing. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on like my essay. And if you guys want, I can like I can read off my essay. So I know I don't have any subscribers now, but in the future I can make a video just reading my essay, because I thought those were helpful, but I didn't know if I wanted to include this in this video particularly. So yeah, I also with my essay, I had so many people edit it. I had so many people look at it and revise it for me and help me basically, and just be brutally honest. Like take constructive criticism, because that's honestly, because you're having someone with a blind eye read it and give you firm like confidence that it's either really good or you need to tweak some things. And don't be offended, they're just trying to help you, because I had my counselor read it, I had my parents, my grandparents, tons of friends. I sent it to a lot of people and just had them look over it and things like that. You can even send it to someone that already goes to FIT and see if it's good. Like don't be shy about it. Don't put it off. That's a good tip too. Like don't procrastinate on this. This is make or break your future. It's really important. So just take your time on it. Like just don't worry about it. It's going to be fine, and you just have to keep rereading it and restructuring it and things like that, and you'll be fine. So yeah. So I finished my essay. I was kind of late. Like a lot of people like submit their essay on in October or something like that, and I submitted my essay on January 25th. That's when I finished it, and it was due on February 1st. So I was cutting it really close, but I took all the time I needed to be able to ensure that it was like up to my standards and as perfect as I thought it could be. So I sent that in, and then you get an email confirming your application, and it's in. So then it's the waiting game, and that is the worst part of it all, because especially for the people that applied in October, you're not getting your application, like your acceptance, until April 1st. And it is so nerve-wracking, because during this time from like January all the way to April 1st is when all of your friends are getting in, and you are and all of your friends know where they're going. They have all these plans. They're so excited, getting their roommates, whatever, and you're just sitting there waiting to see if you get in. And it's so tempting, because I got into all my other schools or got my acceptances back from all of my other schools. And it was nerve-wracking, because once again, I wanted to go to UC forever, and I got into UC and into their business school, whatever, and I was excited about that. I was happy, I was proud, whatever, but I knew I needed to wait, because FIT was going to be a great experience. So I waited it out. I didn't accept to Cincinnati. I just waited it out. And during this time, everyone's going through the same deal. Everyone that wants to go to FIT is going through the same thing. So at that point, they made a Facebook group, class of 2022, FIT class of 2022, and you just go in that private group, whatever, that's made by the students, not by the school. So it's very low key, and you just put in some pictures. You write a little bio of yourself, naming who you are, where you're from, your major, hobbies, whatever, and then eventually people like your photo on Facebook. I mean, I didn't have a Facebook before this point. I needed to make one in order to find roommates for all my other schools and stuff like that. So I made one. So I didn't have anything on my Facebook beforehand. So I bet people thought I was weird, whatever. But I made my bio, and then people started messaging me, and I found through Facebook and Instagram, probably because you link your Instagram on your Facebook bio. And you just find people, you start messaging people. So I messaged all my roommates, and then I got them to talk to each other, and eventually I found all of my roommates. So, and then comes the part where everyone's getting their acceptances, and you face the fear of, oh, well, my roommates get in, but I didn't, or vice versa, where you get in, your roommates don't. So there's also that fear that happens, because after you get accepted, the ball rolls so fast all the way to August and gets everything until orientation. So it's the luck of the draw. No one knows if they're getting in or not. There's no way that you can ensure that you're in, because FIT has a strategic way of accepting students. It can be about anything, where you're from, your race, ethnicity, and your major, and your grades, and your essay. So many things go into account of who gets accepted. So you just have to place your luck in that, and place your faith in seeing if you get in, and if your roommates do. And sometimes it's a fact of life if they don't, and you just have to deal with that and move on. But luckily, all of my roommates got in, and I got in. So you get your acceptance on April 1st. I didn't get mine until April 2nd. I don't know how that works. And some people, I was on spring break for the whole week leading up to April 1st. So I got home on March 30th or something. And then Easter was April 1st. So then no mail was coming on Easter. So I didn't get mine until April 2nd, and a lot of people that I was in a Snapchat group message with had gotten their acceptances while I was on vacation. And oh my god, I'm not going to go into detail on that, but that was difficult. That was the most stressful vacation I've ever been on. I was driving my parents insane. But anyways, I got my acceptance. Greatest achievements of my life, honestly. And by that point, when I got my acceptance letter, I knew that since I was, because I was so excited about it, and I was oh my god, I'm living in New York City, I knew that was the right school for me. So University of Cincinnati completely left my brain, and I was wholeheartedly focused on FIT. So yeah, that's how I got accepted, every step. And up until now, if you get accepted, FIT will be in great communication with you. You get an appointment with your academic advisor, and you set up your classes. So I've got all my classes booked and set, so I'm really excited about all of those. I'm all packed, So tomorrow I'm gonna be making like a move-in vlog and things like that. So then it will start like my weekly vlogging. So then just like a tad bit at the end, in high school I had a normal experience. I had the greatest friends ever, and they're really hard to say goodbye to, but so yeah, I had a completely normal high school experience. And so as far as my GPA, so freshman year I was not focused on my grades at all. So I didn't do bad. Throughout my entire high school career, I got A's and B's except for in math. And math was my downfall. I hate math. I never will like math. I got C's, and one time I even got a D. So I didn't have like top-notch grades, and I didn't have like a top-notch GPA. Up until senior year, I had a 3.49. That was my GPA from like freshman year to junior year, and it took all it is in me to kind of bump, because for some reason I watched all these videos and all the girls said that they had like a 3.8, like a 3.6, and all of these, and I did not, and I was freaking out because yeah. So this senior year, I took 2 more AP classes, and because prior to that I'd taken already 2, so I took 2 more AP classes and I got A's in those, and so that bumped my GPA up to a 3.5 by the time I applied to FIT. So yeah, I had a 3.5. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's literally right in the middle. So if you're worried about your GPA, don't, because I had a 3.5, like a 3.4 basically my entire high school career, because they send in your transcripts and they show like what you've got in your entire high school career, which is really daunting, by the way, but it'll all be fine. So yeah, I was a very average student. I took accelerated classes, but then I took mostly like normal, regulated classes, whatever. And then my ACT, I took the ACT 5 times. Because remember, I didn't think that I was going to FIT at all, so I was focusing on all the other colleges that I was applying to, and they needed your ACT, SAT for your college application. But FIT's different. They don't take your like ACT, SAT score into account for your application, which is so nice. But anyways, I got a 26 on my ACT, and I didn't even take the SAT because I took the PSAT and I did horrible, so I didn't even take that. So I took the ACT, got a 26. That was my final highest score. I had tutoring and everything. Won't get into that. Very annoying. But yeah, 26, not bad, not the greatest, whatever. That's very average for my school. So I got a 26 and I had a 3.5 GPA. So those are my 2 like scores. And then, so like I said, FIT doesn't require your ACT when you get in or when you apply. It's like after the fact. So you send in your scores after the fact, and like they place you into classes based on what you get on your ACT. So if you're deciding whether or not you want to take the ACT or SAT, if it's worth it, if you don't submit your scores for the ACT, then you have to take like a placement test, and like I heard those were hard, so I would take it and just see what you get. I think they take math and English or reading, one of the 2, and they just place you into that. So I got bumped out of like not remedial but like normal level math, and I could take like a higher level math or something like that. I don't know how that works, but I like kind of bypassed some classes that I didn't need to take because of my scores on my ACT. So yeah, I highly recommend taking the ACT and the SAT, and if you're worried about your grades, just chill out, you'll be fine. I've heard people get into FIT with a lot higher GPAs than me and a lot lower GPAs than me, so it's not all about your grades. I think it wholeheartedly depends on like demographics and stuff like that, and your essay, and then grades might take into account like a little bit. So I think my number 1 tip of getting into FIT is to just relax and just make yourself stand out as much as possible, because you don't want to fit in. You want to stand out, and you want to make yourself you want to make the application people be firm in their decision and be like, she would be a great addition to our alumni and she would be successful here. So that's my biggest tip. Just relax, don't freak out. I know the waiting period between whenever you submit your application to April 1st is horrible, but you will make it through. Everyone does, and everything will be okay. So yeah, so that was my video. Tomorrow I'm gonna be filming a move-in vlog. I'm so excited. I'm moving from out of state and I'm flying, so that's gonna be a whole new deal. So yeah, I highly recommend you guys subscribe if you're interested in seeing like weekly vlogs. And of course I'm gonna be doing dorm videos because I'm so excited about my decorations for my dorm. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking you along on all my adventures, whatever. I'll do weekly vlogs. I'm hoping to get internships and study abroads and things like that. So I'm extremely excited to share my life with you guys, and thanks for watching. And yeah, see you guys.